the Defense Department releasing this video that it says shows a Chinese warship almost running into an American destroyer on Saturday, coming within 150 yards of it, forcing the ship to slow down to avoid a collision. The Navy ship had been conducting a joint military exercise with a Canadian frigate between Taiwan and mainland China. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin calling on China's leaders to, quote, rein in that kind of conduct.
Accidents can happen that could cause things to spiral out of control.
China's defense minister then blaming American provocations by even being in the area. Telling the U.S. to, quote, mind your own business and take good care of your own people, Navy vessels and jets. All of it prompting a warning from the U.S.
We do not seek conflict or confrontation, but we will not flinch in the face of bullying or coercion.
These close calls are happening more often, the latest last week over the South China Sea, when a Chinese fighter jet flew across the nose of an American surveillance plane in a maneuver the U.S. called aggressive. Earlier this year, NBC News was on board a U.S. Navy aircraft intercepted by a Chinese jet that flew 500 feet off the wing for over an hour. China is saying it will continue to take necessary measures to protect sovereignty and security. U.S.-China relations have hit new lows since the U.S. shot down that Chinese balloon in February, and Taiwan remains a flashpoint. The lines of communication are still largely cut off, tension is ramping higher, and both defense chiefs at that security summit warned publicly that going to war would be, quote, unbearable.
Luke chapter 21 and verse 9, and it reads, but when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Matthew 24 and 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, Ruha Rukakudash. Double honors to mighty men, the elders and the apostles in the community, waking up the lost sheep, the house of Israel in these last days. Peace and blessings to everyone doing this truth and humbleness, sincerity. Again, I'm going to say shalom. We're going to go through this article coming out of an international source, CGTN. Okay, check this out. Says, yo, check it. Chinese Navy chases off United States destroyer military. I'm gonna repeat that. Chinese Navy chases off United States destroyer. Okay. The USS Hopper illegally intruded into Chinese waters, according to Beijing. I'm gonna read that again. It says the USS Hopper illegally intruded into Chinese waters, according to Beijing. It says the Chinese military has chased away a United States warship near the disputed it says Zisha Parcel Islands in the South China Sea. A spokesperson for the People's Liberation Army said on Saturday, calling Washington a security risk maker and the biggest destroyer of peace and stability in the region. Wow. It says calling Washington a security risk maker and the biggest destroyer of peace and stability in the region. See, this is the aftermath of this so-called peace talks, and that's going to get shut down. I'm going to deal with that shortly. I'm going to go into that when the Most High said peace and safety. And that sudden destruction going to come like a woman travaileth with child, and no one's going to escape, roughly paraphrasing, right? Let's read on. It says the breach of Chinese territorial waters by the USS Hopper guided missile destroyer severely jeopardized Beijing's sovereignty and once again proved that Washington is seeking navigation hegemony and militarization of the South China Sea, said spokesman of the Southern Theater Command, said Colonel Tian Johnny. The Chinese military deployed air and naval forces to follow and monitor the intruder and drove it away, according to law, CGTN reported. The Pentagon has yet to comment on the incident. See, these nations done with America. I'm telling y'all, they're done with America and they're done with little America. Okay, let's close this out. The Xisha Islands are a disputed archipelago in the South China Sea, which is the de facto governed by China. Known internationally as partial islands that are also claimed by Vietnam and Taiwan. Washington does not recognize Chinese claims of sovereignty over the island and has repeatedly called it unlawful and posing a serious threat to the freedom of the seas. Okay, and we've been hearing this one for a minute, but this war is gonna pan out. If it be of the Most High, I hope it's today. Okay, the elect want to get out of this sick place, but let me close out this article. I'm going off. Okay. Similar incidents with American warships caught trespassing near the Parcel Islands have happened before. Destroyer USS Mills was warned away from the region by the Chinese Navy in March this year, while USS Benfold was chased away twice in 2022. That's the end of that article. I'm going to say something. We're going to get reports of U.S. warships being shot down, shot out of the water. That's what's going to happen ultimately. Because we know who controls the United States. Okay? The Dukes of Edom, led by the chief house of Edom, the Amalekites. They control America. Okay? And we're entering a season now with this little pause with the war. Keep in mind, family, the nations, the BRICS nations, their currency is going to up speed to start the end of this year into next year. And our inflationary measures, the taxes, it's about to overload, and times are really going to get hard right here in Babylon the Great, leading to this destruction and deliverance of the scattered 12 tribes, the elect of the children of Israel. Okay, let's get some scriptures. We wind it down. Let's get that Thessalonians account. Let's get that Thessalonians account. First Thessalonians 5:3. It reads, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Okay, I'm gonna read this again, because a lot of these Babylonians closing out the Thanksgiving feast, Columbus 2.0 feast, believe they're safe. Nah, you're not safe here. And this warning really for the scattered Israelites, because America's going to get judged, and it's sooner than we can comprehend. Always remember that. 1 Thessalonians 5:3 from the top. "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Okay, these nations are coming up against America. Okay, and it's only going to increase. Let's get that. Let's get this precept. Yeah, it's going down. And our people, in the knowledge of this truth, we got to keep these commandments. We must keep these commandments in these last days before this judgment. Before this judgment, they just roll up. Always keep in mind the 2 Peter 3 and 10. 2 Peter 3 and 10 account. Excuse me. Okay. The Most High gonna come by way of Hamashiach Yahushai as a thief in the night, and this place suddenly gonna be taken. So if you believe you safe in the United States of America in the midst of a world war that's gonna ultimately end nuclear, you gotta keep these commandments. I'm gonna always push this warning, okay? Give me a minute. Let me get this one precept. We can see the nations literally setting up to take down, the elites. And these elites, they're not going out without a fight. Okay? It's an account. I hadn't found it yet, but the Most High said in one account, he said, "Let the weak say I am strong." That's what I'm trying to pull, because these nations, they, I think they had it with, how do you say, America and Little America, and something's going to give. Okay? Something literally, something really big is going to set off. Okay, it's kind of a calm with that war, but something really big is going to happen, and it's soon. Okay. One moment. There it is. Joel 3 and 10. Check this out. It reads, "Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong." And all the nations are fighting. Okay, they're actually fighting the elites financially with this BRICS buildup, but we know this war is gonna turn to a global conflict. China sent vessels out there. A lot of nations, they're watching America and Little America, and it ain't good. Okay. See if there's any more before I wind down. I'm gonna read that one again. Joel 3 and 10 from the top. It reads, "Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong." Okay, because these nations, like I said, they are setting up to war America and Little America. We can see that. Okay. Let's get Micah 5 and 11. Let me see. It reads, Micah 5 and 11. It says, "And I will cut off the cities of thy land and throw down all thy strongholds." Okay, that's a little twofold. I think that's really going into when Israel fell, when we fell. But it's also going into the fall of Babylon the Great, because that's literally going to play out in these latter days. Okay? Get a few more. I'm gonna end it. Let's get Revelations 18 and 8. Why not? I mean, this is the judgment we all praying for. When that seventh trumpet go off, the chosen's delivered, and this wicked kingdom's destroyed. That's my prayer every day, every heartbeat. You just pray you're on the right hand side of the Lord's judgment and vengeance against Babylon the Great. Revelations 18:8, it reads, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord God who judged her. And we're seeing the judgment now with the famine, the plagues, the pestilence, okay, the violence, the wars. We're seeing all this escalate, the crashing of this economy, okay. There's massive reports of bank layoffs, job layoffs to end this year. So the Most High is continuing to set the stage to destroy America and deliver the 12 tribes, the elect 12 tribes of Israel, and bring them to safety into Zion. Okay. We go into here. Let's get the classic. Revelations 18:18, it reads, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city where were made rich all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, dealing with the elect, for God had avenged you on her. All praise to the Most High. With that, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High power of Israel, Yahweh, Ba'Shem HaMashiach Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the mighty men, the elders, and the apostles in the community, waking up the lost sheep, the house of Israel in these last days. Peace and blessings to everyone doing this truth and humbleness and sincerity. Israel, I love y'all. We got next. Shalom.